question of the week, which we were talking very briefly before the show about. What is the worst cold food? The worst cold food. There's a few that jump to my mind that I consider pretty good cold foods that are not traditionally eaten cold, such as pizza. But I don't know. What do you think? What thoughts are going through your head, Steven?
Oh, I had several because we were talking a little bit before we got going that I am a hot food eater. I have a crappy food palate, so it's got to be hot or I don't know what I'm eating. The only cold stuff I really like is cold stuff that's meant to be cold, like like a lemon meringue pie or like a popsicle or ice cream. But one of the things that I hate all cold things, but I've been sitting here trying to think of what would be the grossest cold thing. And certain things come to mind, like most soups that are cold. Like if you were gonna hand me like a plate of
cold tomato bisque,
like clam chowder cold, or chicken and dumplings cold, doesn't sound good at all. And I'm assuming we're talking cold. We're talking either room temperature and below.
Yes.
Maybe not directly out of the fridge.
Or even, leftover right out of the fridge, maybe.
Ooh, leftover right out of the fridge. That list grows. Most things are gross. I have people that love a cold pizza. Love cold pizza and cold spaghetti. And there's few things that I find that are what someone else would say is reasonable cold food that I find more disgusting than like cold spaghetti. Not going to do. I can't even do pasta salad. I hate it. It is not good. Oh, the full run through says French fries.
Yep. Soggy, wet noodle French fries. Unless you're gonna toss them in the oven or a toaster oven, like microwaving them is no, because they lose their structural integrity. I was thinking like maybe nachos.
Oh yeah. Like once they're cold, like especially out of the fridge, they're like stale chips.
Yeah.
And the nacho cheese is basically solid.
Oh, then it's definitely worst. all one chip.
Yeah. What you can do with French fries, if you own an air fryer, it's not going to resurrect them to their glorious original taste, but it's better than other methods. I have used the air fryer to reheat a French fry, and it was still not good. What is it, Joe? What is it about a French fry when you eat it cold that it like clogs your entire esophagus? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you're like, let me try this, and it lodges itself into the insides of your throat.
Cold mashed potatoes.
Ooh. So potato. We're kind of narrowing it down. Potatoes cold.
Potato in general. Yeah. No.
Yeah, if you have an idea of what can make a potato taste good cold, I'd like to hear it.
Well, anything that's supposed to be melted and then it coagulates as it gets colder is just going to be bad. Congeals.
Oh, like fat, like a good old pork loin that you've had in the Instant Pot. You put that in the fridge for a night. You just got it with the fat just congealed and gross. Oh, what did you bring me on this show tonight for? Now I'm just gonna be sick. You need to put a content warning on this episode.
Yeah, when you start using words like congeal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's a worse word in your mind? So a lot of people hate the word moist.
Yeah.
Moist.
Moist. It's congealed.
Yeah. What's worse, moist or congealed?
No.
For your content warning, I'm going with congealed. I think that puts worse visuals in my head.
Oh, well, because congealed also makes me think of blood clots and stuff. Because your blood.
Hold on, let me vomit real quick.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things. Even like hot chocolate's not horrible cold, but it it loses its lackluster because then it's just cold chocolate water.
Yeah, because it's not really, depending on how you make it, it doesn't turn into chocolate milk.
Yeah.
It's just, my son loves cold hot chocolate. That sounds weird to say. He likes to have some ice cubes dropped in it because he doesn't like hot drinks. And he'll still drink the hot chocolate, and I don't know how he does it. I need it to singe the lips just a tad.
I remember when I was younger, whenever my mom would make ramen for me, she'd drop an ice cube in there
Yeah.
because I didn't want to wait for it to be not boiling hot. But that's not the same because it's not like it goes to automatically from boiling hot to freezing cold. It's just
Oh, yeah. It's
normally
lukewarm a little
normalizes it.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, brings it down so you don't have to wait. You're
Uh,
impatient, Joe, is what you're trying to say.
yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Now I'm trying to think of other foods that just are not. No, there's a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Most of it for me comes to when the consistency changes because of the temperature
Mm.
change. And so
Are you a texture eater, Joe? Does texture
yes,
matter a lot to you?
that's why I hate mushrooms. It's not necessarily
Yeah.
the taste, it's the texture.
Dude, can you eat a Hostess snowball?
It's not my favorite, but I
Yeah.
can.
Because I'm not a coconut fan,
Well,
and
and
it has nothing to do with coconut flavor. It has everything to do with coconut shavings being gritty.
well, no, I don't mind coconut, to be honest.
What?
I like coconut. So,
I'm
um,
impressed.
but the snowball has so many competing textures. Like it,
Yeah.
you, depending on what layer you bite into it, it's very, very different.
Yeah.
So,
It's one of those you want to make sure you get a big bite so you get each like, because once it's by itself, it's like eating a cake that's got too much icing on it. Once you get to that last bite and you're like, this is just all icing, I'll skip it.
as a kid, that was great, but as an adult, I'm
Sure.
like, eh. And
Yeah.
it's funny to think of how your tastes are refined over the years and how drastically they change. Um, you know, we were talking about cold food, but it makes me think of in anime and in Japanese culture, the thing that kids hate a lot in that zeitgeist is bell peppers.
Really?
Because yeah, so apparently, and I did a search on this because I was like, why is this a thing in anime? Because sometimes I'm like, culturally speaking, it's there, but does it have a wider cultural impact? But it's just um, magnified in this specific medium, and so I went down a rabbit hole with that, and apparently children are more sensitive to bitter tastes than adults are, and bell peppers have a bitter aftertaste, and
Hmm.
so a lot of kids don't like them, and it's because the bitter aftertaste hits them more profoundly than it does for adults. And
Oh, that's
so
fascinating.
yeah,
What
so
what's something I'm just gonna keep this theme going for as long as possible. Joe, what is something that you would never eat as a kid that you have grown to like as an adult? I got a
there's a
list a mile
yeah,
long,
no,
Joe.
there's a lot of things. One of the things that I remember as a kid was not being huge on steak, and
Yeah.
it wasn't steak itself, it was the fatty bits of steak, and it was
Mhm.
again a texture thing.
Yeah.
Um, and so I remember asking my dad, I'm like, "Can we get steak without fat?" And as a kid, I didn't realize, that's not how steak comes. And so occasionally he would cut off a bit of his steak and let me have some of it that didn't have the fatty bits on it.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, different things like that where you just didn't know better.
Sure.
Hamburger doesn't have those fatty bits on it, but
It's
it's
all rendered into the meat. There are steaks that are more marbly and have more like a ribeye. Some people love a ribeye. I'm not a big fan because of the amount of gristle and fat that usually accompanies it. I like steak as a kid, but my mom would always cut it up and I'd get the little pieces, without the fat. Now I'm an adult and I just don't eat steak because everyone I eat steak with is obnoxious. And it's like it's the one food that you can sit around and eat with people that everyone has an opinion about how you're eating it. And it drives me crazy.
You asked for it to be cooked wrong. You're not allowed to have sauce on it. If you have sauce, it has to be A1. How dare you put ketchup on it? Like, it's like,
why are you leaving so much meat on the plate? Why didn't you eat that part? It's just, it makes me crazy. I'd never eat steak with anyone but my immediate family because I can't stand it. We're making steaks. I'm like, great.
Oh yeah,
I'll go hide and eat it in the closet where you can't find me.
I was listening to a podcast the other day done by a famous author, and he was talking about how he likes his steak, and I guarantee there are people that judge him for it because he likes it on the cusp of well done.
Yeah. Okay.
And he said it's not even a taste thing; it's a texture thing. He
I get that.
he doesn't like the texture when it's cooked less.
Yeah.
And so and so I'm just like, I should go look at the comments to see if people are ragging on him, but I what I loved is he is unabashedly himself.
Good.
I mean, he's such a well-known author that he's made so much money he doesn't care what other people think.
Yeah. So, why does the steak have to be bleeding for me to enjoy it? Like, why can't it be just, I'm a medium to medium well person. And it's mostly just because I don't want blood juice running into my mashed potatoes. It's not my thing. So yeah, I'm good for him. Good for standing his ground and be like, I'm too rich to care what you think of me.
And I've actually gotten rarer as I've gotten older, but I don't think I'm going to go past medium. Whereas my dad would tell people, knock off the tail and the horns and bring it to me, basically.
5 seconds on one side, just sear it and then hand it over. No.
Yep.
Nope. I'm out.
My dad.